Okay, so bore da, good morning and welcome to this hybrid meeting of Registration and Licensing Committee on Monday the 15th of April 2024. I'm Councillor Anthony John Richards and I will be chairing today's meeting. And just to make you aware, today's meeting will be recorded. So can you please ensure that your phones are switched to silent for the duration of the meeting? And would members, officers and attendees who are present in the meeting room please use their microphones when speaking, and when not speaking, can I ask that you ensure your microphone is switched to mute. If you have any questions, please raise your hand or electronic hand for the majority who are attending virtually. Agenda item 2 is declarations of interest. Are there any declarations of interest?
Any declarations? Yeah, Councillor Lodred.
Lodred.
Yeah, good morning. It's agenda item 4 with regards to the fare increase.
Okay, is that a personal or prejudicial interest, Councillor Lodred?
Personal.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Great, thank you very much. Agenda item 3 is minutes of the previous meeting. So at this point, I'd just like to call in Mr. Chapel before we go to the minutes.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Morning, everyone. Just to point out, Chair members, there were 3 changes needed to be made to the minutes of the 30th of October minutes. The first was that the senior legal regulatory officer introduced a report, not the licensing manager. Secondly, the driver did attend the meeting. And thirdly, the licence was revoked, not refused. Due to these errors, a corrected version of the minutes is attached to the agenda today for members. These will not replace the 30th of October minutes on the website, but an explanation will be included in today's minutes to tie everything together. Thank you, Chair.
Great, diolch yn fawr, thank you for that. So firstly, the amended minutes of the 30th of October 2023 and the 19th of February 2024 are on pages 3 to 6 of the circulated agenda pack. So can I have a proposer and a seconder to approve the minutes for accuracy, please? Councillor Carpenter.
Happy to propose, Chair.
Great.
I'll second, Chair.
Fab, thank you very much. Okay, so members, if you do not indicate to the contrary by raising your electronic or physical hand, I will assume that you're in favour of the minutes.
I see no indication to the contrary, Chair. I confirm the minutes are now approved.
Brilliant. Diolch yn fawr. Thank you very much, Nadine. Agenda item 4 then is the Hackney carriage fare increases. Now this report can be found on pages 7 to 24 and is here for consideration. So if we can start.
Chair,
yeah.
Sorry, Chair, can I come in? Councillor Lodred, are you leaving for this item, please?
Yes, I will. Okay.
Thank you. We call you back in then on the next item, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. Diolch yn fawr. So yeah, this report can be found on pages 7 to 24 and is here for consideration. So Mr. Chapel, if you could start with introducing the report, please.
Thank you, Chair. So agenda item 4 is a report to consider an increase to the Hackney carriage fares prior to a report being taken to the Council's Cabinet. Members, the setting of Hackney carriage fares is an executive function, so although ultimately determination must be made by the Council's Cabinet, I've always brought a report to this committee to get direction of members. The proposed increase, which is attached to Appendix 1, was compiled following a meeting between the Taxi Association and union members and officers of the council. The proposal, members will note, will see a 10 pence added to the starting meter rate on tariff 1 and 20 pence added to the starting meter rate on tariff 2. The running mile rate, which is the rate that increases after the first mile, will increase by 2 pence for each 1/10 of a mile. And that's on both tariff 1 and on tariff 2. So based on an average tariff 1 journey of 2 miles, this works out at 5.17% increase. And on an average tariff 2 journey of 3 miles, the increase is 6%. It's also proposed that the extra charges for each passenger exceeding 4 be increased. This is going to go up from 50p to 75p per passenger, and that the tariff 2 starting time be reduced from 11 o'clock to either 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. The proposal has been subject to wider consultation with all licensed drivers and proprietors, and members will note that there were 42 responses received. A summary of those responses is outlined in paragraphs 10 to 18 of the report. Members will have noted that the proposal Appendix 1 gave 2 options for the start time of Tariff 2, either starting at 9 or 10 p.m. This was because when we had that meeting with the trade associations, there was a difference of opinion between the various groups that attended. During the consultation, 38 respondents referred to the Tariff 2 starting time. 21 of these wanted Tariff 2 to start at 9 o'clock. 7 wanted it to start at 10 o'clock, and 8 wanted it left unchanged at 11 o'clock. So following consideration of the responses, it is now suggested that the proposal set out in Appendix 1 be amended slightly, so that Tariff 2 will start at 10 p.m. Monday to Friday, and it'll start at 9 p.m. on a Saturday evening. If members are content with this proposal, then a report will be taken to the next available Cabinet meeting, where approval will be sought to publish notice of the increase. The public notice is essentially an opportunity for any person to make representations to the Council in respect of the increase proposal, and then any representations that are received during that period will need to be considered again by Cabinet before any increase can be implemented. Thank you, Chair.
Great, diolch yn fawr. Thank you very much, Mr Chapel, for that. Members, do you have any questions to Mr Chapel? No.
You got Councillor Patterson in
there.
Thank you, Chair. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm pleased to see the responses from taxi drivers in the report, because previously there has been a dichotomy of members who, some of them wanted increases and some of them didn't. But I think this is a majority rule type of situation. And I'm also conscious of members of the public who will have to pay their high increased fares, which will impact on people without bus services. So I'd be interested to see going forward, if this is agreed, the consultation that comes back from members of the public as well. It's a tricky line to follow. The taxi drivers have to make a living, and also we have to be cognizant of how much it will cost members of the public as well. So I'd be interested to see the consultation coming back. Thank you, Mr.
Yeah, thank you very much, Councillor Patterson. On the back of that, then, Mr Chapel, I don't know if you can answer this, but what measures are in place to sort of monitor the effectiveness and fairness of the fare increases once implemented?
There isn't any monitoring as such. I mean, the increase that we look at is the same as looking at a pay increase for any other employee annually. So this is effectively an increase in the taxi driver's pay. We didn't increase it last year. It wasn't requested by the trade, but it did increase the year previous to that. If you look at the cost of living expenses of the last 2 years and the percentage inflation price increases particularly, then it seemed, 5% increase on Tariff 1, 6% Tariff 2 probably isn't actually increasing in the same speed as inflation is. So they have asked for this, in fairness to them, The increase is, it's not excessive. We're hopeful that it won't affect the most vulnerable in society. If you look at the tariff 1 or 2 miles trip, you probably add in 10 pence to the first mile, 30 pence increase over 2 miles. So it's not an excessive increase. There's a little bit more on tariff 2, but then of course tariff 2 is affecting the nighttime economy rather than those who are relying on taxis in the daytime economy.
Great, diolch yn fawr, thank you. Any other questions from members?
I can't see any, Chair.
No, so diolch yn fawr, thank you. I now refer members to the recommendations which can be found on page 11, and the report is here for consideration. So no decision is required today, as the decision will be taken by the Cabinet. So the report is here for noting. Okay, agenda item 5 is urgent items. I have none. And then agenda item 6 is access to meetings. So we're now going into the private items. So that pursuant to section 100BA 2 and 7 of the Local Government Act 1972, it is proposed that the public be excluded for the following items of business which involve the disclosure of exempt information as defined in paragraph 12 of part 4 of schedule 12A of the above act. Could I have I'm happy to propose, could I have a seconder to move this item?
Yes, Chair.
Great, thank you very much, Councillor Paddison. And members, if you do not indicate to the contrary by raising your electronic or physical hand, I will assume you're in favour of going into the private session.
I see no indication to the contrary, Chair. The recording has now been stopped.